The time has come for me to tell you about this app that I've been using on and off for a couple years to help track fitness or like get a sense of something. And I've been, I don't know, kind of sleeping on it. When I started using it, it felt weird. It felt like a radical shift from like fitness apps or whatever. I have an Apple Watch, and I love the tracking stuff. But recently, this app has gotten so good, and I don't know if it was a mind shift on my part or the app just improved. It's called Welltory, and let me show it to you. It's amazing. I use it every single day. I rely on it. It's so good. Have a look. So here we are on my phone screen. Technology, it is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go, you can see it's a top hit for me because I use it all the time. So here it is, Welltory. And the thing about it, so I'm going to take you, this is my kind of feed. And the thing about it that is different than like Apple Fitness or whatever is it really tracks everything based on heart rate variability, which at the beginning, when people started talking about HRV, I didn't get it. I still partially don't get it, but a lot of research is tied to HRV being a great metric for like general wellness and fitness. And it is something that your watch, it's not just an Apple Watch, any wearable tracks, including like the rings now and all that stuff. They all kind of are on that. And so the whole basis of this app is, and that's another tracking thing for another time. The whole basis is to get your HRV, and it has a whole bunch of stuff. So this is my general feed, but what happens is throughout the day, you can see it will track these different metrics using your watch as like the input, or you can manually take a reading using the, oddly enough, like the camera on your phone, the flash. Somehow it's like looking at your heartbeat via the, I don't know how it works, but I get all of my tracking done from my watch. And it gives you kind of a sense of where you are. So the stress that it's talking about is sedentary stress. It's not like the stress I'm feeling, when I'm anxious. It's the stress that your body accumulates because you're not moving enough or you're not sleeping enough or whatever. So just like I equate it, it's not the same thing, but it's similar to like using inflammation as a touch point for wellness. HRV is kind of supposed to be that around wellness regarding your heart health. And the stress that builds up over time is like really stress for your heart, I guess. Listen, all this stuff is in here. You can go read about it. But the reason I love this app, so you can see these are my different readings for today. So you can click into any of these. And this is telling me at 9:23 this morning, I was doing okay. 59% stress, that's good. Health is resilient, energy is low. That is absolutely true. So if I click into there, they have, you really have to commit to understanding what these things are. And I think maybe that's why it took me some time, because you have to get used to reading what you're reading. But they give you like good explanations of everything that's going on. And I really like this metric here, particularly this nervous system balance one, because it tells you PSNS is your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the relax and recover one. And the red number above is your sympathetic nervous system, which is the one that is affected by like cortisol spikes and stuff like that, adrenaline, any of that. So it's kind of more the active one. And so the goal for this metric is to have it pretty in balance. And you can see today, this was from this morning, I was pretty in balance here. But like my HRV, it's telling me it's low. And they have a bunch of resources here that explain what you're looking at. But so that's all amazing, and that's been in this app forever. And I was kind of like interested to see how it worked out for 2 years. But here's the thing that won me over. This home screen now is so cool. And the ones that I use the most are really the sleep and the activity. So if you jump into these tiles, they give you a rundown of how your sleep went. And again, if you connect it to Apple Health, any app that you use for tracking sleep or anything, it'll feed that data in here and they'll tell you kind of, and then you respond and you say, okay, yeah, I felt like I slept really well. Tell me more about that. I'm really not going to. I just think I slept well. And they give you kind of ratings for how things are going, a bunch of these different metrics around sleep, which I really, really love. And this line up here, you can unpack yours, but the longer you track the data in here, the better the data is. And it starts to give you a trend line of what you did, which is the colorful line, versus like what the normal is, which is that band running across. It here is kind of a lighter purple. That's like my normal trend line. So I love this. And then you can review your data across weeks and even months, depending on how long you've been tracking. The other one that I really use every day, and it has kind of changed the way I think about activity and working out, is this one, the activity report. So there's a whole thing in here about METs versus calories. So, it's like used to be a calorie in, calorie out thing. So we were all tracking the amount of calories burned. They're actually saying this app and their whole theory is that there's a better way to track activity and it's like lasting impact. And they call it METs. And somewhere in here, click here, they'll tell you what a MET is. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's basically their unit of measurement. It's different than calories burned, or even like Apple uses move minutes or something. This is totally different. It kind of distinguishes between like the different intensity of activity. So this activity overview, I rely on this every day. And the idea is it tracks the zone of your movement and the amount of time you were in that zone. So it's like zone training, which I think is cool and I love that. But it also gives you a daily target for what you need in a certain zone. So if I'm not planning to work out that day, I'll be in zone 1, and they say you need 32 minutes of movement where your heart rate is in this range to kind of cover what you need in a day to help combat that stress that accumulates. And if you move this slider, let's say you're in zone 2, you need 27 minutes. Let's say you are sprinting that day, you need 18 minutes at this high level to meet your goal for METs. And the goal is set personally based on the information you give the app, and then they give you where you are. So you can see I'm actually traveling, so I haven't been working out super consistently. But yesterday I walked like a crazy person, so you can see kind of an increase. And they also track your 7-day intensity minimum. So the minimum for me, based on my age and where I am, is 918 METs across 7 days. So you can see I'm running a little bit behind because there were a couple of days, especially Thursday, that I did nothing. So anyway, I just love this app so much. There's so much to discover, all of these different facets, and I've never seen so many metrics pulled together in one place that cohesively speak to wellness. I've become obsessed with this. There's also so much to learn. It takes a long time. So if you're looking for simplicity, this is probably not your answer, but I just love this thing. Obviously, I can go on and on about it. Try it out. The name of it again is That's How It Is. Welltory. Try it out. You'll like it.